Hey there, ever wondered if your phone is secretly analyzing your behavior? What if I told you that last month, I discovered something that completely changed how I view technology? Something so concerning that I immediately deleted 5 apps from my phone. Imagine scrolling through your phone before bed and suddenly realizing the ads you're seeing are eerily connected to a conversation you had earlier, but you never searched for it online. Sound familiar? Drop a comment if this has happened to you. I'm about to share what I found when I accidentally stumbled upon a hidden AI manipulation experiment happening right now on millions of phones worldwide. And don't worry, in the next minute, I'll give you an actionable step to protect yourself. The scariest part? These aren't obscure apps. They're ones you probably use every single day. Would you keep an app if you knew it was designed to change your behavior without your knowledge? Be honest in the comments. Before this discovery, I downloaded apps without thinking twice. Free app? Sign me up, connect to my social accounts? Sure, it seemed harmless. Here's my promise tip. Go to your phone's settings right now, tap privacy, then microphone, and check which apps have permission to listen. Notice anything surprising? That's just the beginning. The experiment begins. Let me tell you about my friend Sarah. She mentioned mid-century modern coffee tables during a conversation, something she'd never searched for. Within 24 hours, her social media was flooded with ads for exactly that style of furniture. Coincidence? Most people think their data is just collected for ads. But what if these apps are designed to modify your behavior patterns over time? To literally change how you think and what you value? Think about it. Ever felt compelled to check a specific app first thing in the morning? That's not an accident. That's carefully engineered digital addiction. My journey started with a simple observation that turned into a 2-week investigation, and what I found was terrifying. I first noticed something strange when talking to my friend about wanting to learn guitar. Never searched for it online, never typed it anywhere. But the very next day, my social feed was suddenly filled with guitar lessons and ads. That evening, I opened social media, and there it was. An ad for Learn Guitar in 30 Days. I showed my friend, and we laughed it off as coincidence. But then, it kept happening. Guitar tutorials in my recommended feed, Spotify suggesting a Guitar Classics for Beginners playlist, even my shopping app featuring deals on guitar equipment. The systematic experiment, I decided to conduct my own experiment. For 1 week, I mentioned specific, unusual topics near my phone that I had zero interest in and had never searched for before. Winter cruises to Alaska, specialty coffee grinders, vintage typewriters. Guess what appeared in my feeds? Exactly those things. But here's what blew my mind. It wasn't just ads. The app started changing their entire content algorithms to push me toward these interests. Day 1, I mentioned winter cruises to Alaska 3 times near my phone. Within hours, my travel app sent a notification. Explore Alaska this winter. Das and Day 2, I talked about specialty coffee grinders. That afternoon, my shopping app featured a coffee enthusiast collection. Day 3, I discussed vintage typewriters. By evening, my social media showed typewriter restoration videos and collector groups. Documented everything. The pattern was undeniable. Even more disturbing, the content wasn't just showing up, it was strategically placed to maximize engagement. Typewriter videos appeared when I typically had longest app sessions. The Alaska cruise ads came when I historically made purchasing decisions. I left my phone in another room and had the same conversations. Result? Nothing unusual appeared in my feeds. The difference was clear: the coordinated manipulation. The deeper I dug, the more disturbing it became. Certain apps showed me content at specific times when their data indicated I was most vulnerable. Late, at night after emotional content, even after detecting arguments through my microphone. One night after arguing with my roommate about dishes, I got a notification from a rarely used meditation app. Feeling stressed? Try our new conflict resolution meditation. I hadn't opened that app in months. The timing was impossible to dismiss as coincidence. Multiple apps were coordinating. If I showed interest in fitness on one app, financial apps would suddenly show expensive fitness equipment. If I searched for recipes, another platform would immediately suggest kitchen gadgets. The bombshell: 5 of the most popular apps are part of a coordinated AI behavioral experiment. They're not just showing content you'll like, they're systematically testing how to change your behavior, spending habits, even your opinions. The internal documents through a friend in tech. I accessed an internal presentation from one of the biggest social media companies titled Behavior Modification Success Metrics, Q3 2024. The presentation detailed how they had successfully influenced purchasing decisions for 82% of users in their test group. They called it preference architecture instead of manipulation. They celebrated increasing average screen time by 23 minutes per day through emotional engagement loops. Some highlights. Slide 7 showed their impulse purchase pathway. Flowchart detailing how to guide users from browsing to making unplanned purchases. Steps included trigger nostalgia, introduce mild social anxiety, and present solution with urgency. Slide 12, titled Attention Retention Metrics, broke down increasing time spent through strategic dopamine scheduling, controlling when users receive satisfying content to keep them craving more. Slide 19 showed opinion malleability, testing, measuring how effectively they could shift users' viewpoints by controlling their information environment. Users were referred to as behavioral endpoints. Success was measured in compliance rates and suggestion adherence. Their goal for 2025, transition users from conscious to unconscious decision patterns in key commercial categories. In plain English, they want you to stop making conscious choices and start reflexively doing what their algorithms nudge you to do, taking action. So what can you actually do about this? Here are 5 critical steps I took immediately. I identified the biggest offenders, 5 apps, part of their integrated behavioral ecosystem, and deleted them. Downloaded my data from each app before deleting them to see exactly what they'd collected. I replaced these apps with privacy-focused alternatives. I adjusted settings on remaining apps to minimize data collection. I set up monitoring to catch any app trying to access my microphone or location inappropriately. Which of these strategies would you try first? Comment 1, 2, or 3. The 5 apps I deleted were 2 social media giants using emotional contagion testing and social FOMO optimization to manipulate engagement. A popular shopping app running psychological experiments with dynamic pricing visibility. A free VPN service collecting and selling user data despite privacy claims. A weather app requesting microphone, contacts, and location access for mosaic data collection. It's not just about deleting apps. It's understanding that AI isn't just predicting behavior anymore. It's actively trying to shape it. Check which apps have what permissions. On iPhone, settings, privacy. On Android, settings, apps. Permissions manager. Pay special attention to anything with microphone or location access always, instead of just while using. For each permission, ask, does this app absolutely need this to function? Since making these changes, my battery lasts 40% longer, my phone runs faster, and I feel more in control of my digital life. We've been unwitting participants in the largest behavioral experiment in human history. But we don't have to be anymore. Have these revelations changed how you think about your apps? Let me know in the comments. This isn't about fear. It's about making conscious choices about technology rather than letting it make choices about us. Next time, I'll show you exact settings to block 90% of hidden data collection. Subscribe so you're first to know. Remember, when it comes to technology, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product.